Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. So glad to have you here today. I hope you enjoy this one. So, as you guys know, Star Wars fans have been asking for a what if series for a long time. The LEGO specials kind of give us a glimpse into some of those scenarios, but in terms of a wide-scale 3D animated or even live-action show, this is something Disney and Lucasfilm have not produced. A series akin to Marvel's What If. But the idea has been floating around for years, and many fans have made different fan theories, fan films, surrounding alternate realities they want to see. But did you know, in the early 2000s, a Dark Horse comic series called Star Wars Infinities provided alternate versions of the stories of each of the original trilogy films, and you wouldn't believe how different that version of The Empire Strikes Back is. In the Infinities episode 5, it's Leia who goes to Dagobah, not Luke. Luke dies on Hoth, in the most tragic of circumstances, and in his dying breath he tells Han exactly what Obi-Wan told him. Han misinterprets the message and thinks Luke wants him to go to Dagobah, so Han, strangely enough, starts believing he might be a secret Jedi. The surviving heroes give Luke a funeral and then they go to Dagobah. When they arrive they meet Yoda, and that is when the confusion is cleared up. The message was intended for Luke, who heard it from Ben, but relayed it to Han in his delirious, dying, frozen state. But because Leia is Luke's sister, and also Force-sensitive, Yoda is willing to train her in the ways of the Force. This is kind of in line with George Lucas's vision for her in his treatments for his sequel trilogy which he never got to make. He wanted Leia to be Force-trained, and be a prominent part of his 7, 8 and 9. You know what I really love about the Dark Horse Star Wars comics is they're not afraid to do crazy things, explore the wild possibilities that they couldn't do on screen, and I guess that's the excitement that fans have about a possible what if. But returning to this comic, Leia is a formidable student. She isn't erratic, and doesn't try to leave Dagobah before her training is done. She meditates, and tells Master Yoda she sees it, the Kyber crystal she needs to make her own lightsaber. She knows she has to go to the Cave of Evil. Yoda tells her that on her quest, she must clear her mind and return by morning with her weapon completed. As Yoda waits, Vader and the Empire have tracked them down. Vader arrives on the swamp and confronts a familiar face from his past, but he doesn't know Luke is dead in this version of events. He informs Yoda he's come for his son. Where is he? Yoda tells him the truth, but conceals the details of Luke's death. You will not find your son here. Do not toy with me, old man. Too old am I for games, Lord Vader. I'm surprised to see you're still alive, Master Yoda. Well, many surprises will you find here on this day. And then we get one of the most absolutely insane moments from Star Wars comic history. Yoda enters Vader's mind, and he experiences some of the most painful flashbacks from his past, killing the Tusken Raiders in Attack of the Clones after his mother's death. Entered your mind I have, Vader. Evil more twisted in there are you than in the physical world. Vader tries to resist, telling Yoda his tricks will not save him. The old frog must be destroyed. And then an apparition of Vader's old master, Obi-Wan, who he killed on the Death Star in A New Hope, appears in front of him. It will take more than spectres to save you. Spectres they may be, Yoda replies, but they can still hurt you. And then Vader utters one of the most tragic lines. My life is pain. It will take more than that to stop me. Then we cut to Leia, who has finished building her lightsaber, but she senses something is wrong. She rushes back to help Master Yoda. The next apparition that Vader has to face is Mace Windu. This is the choice you have made, Anakin Skywalker. This is what you have chosen. Your pain, your anguish, it is your doing. Wrong choices you've been making your entire life, young Skywalker. Selfish and cruel have you been, thinking never of others, hiding from compassion, hiding from your truth. Then we see Anakin's face, and what truth would that be? That human you are, capable of love, capable of pain, capable of making mistakes and learning from them. Fallible you are, yet denied this you did, seeing yourself only as better than everyone else. And that is when Anakin, as a broken, destroyed man in Lord Vader, has to fight Qui-Gon Jinn, an apparition of the man who took the young boy off Tatooine. Yoda continues gnawing away at Vader's psyche. Even in your search for your son, you are wrapped in your own lies. How unfortunate, A miserable life you have lived. Wasted it, devoted to hate, to pain, to anger, to the hurt you've caused yourself and others. The spectre of Vader's past, in the form of Qui-Gon, slashes through Vader's head. That is when Yoda puts the final nail in the coffin and shows him what happened to Luke. Hunting the galaxy you are, when all along your son lay buried in an icy grave. Too late, you are. Your son is dead. Vader collapses, and as his body falls to the ground, a young Anakin, the version we see in The Phantom Menace, escapes from the suit and armor, the voice of the boy Yoda once knew. I'm scared. Yoda comforts him, placing his small green hand on his hair. No longer do you need to be afraid, Anakin. But then Yoda doesn't realize this is Vader messing with him, and then we see a demonic look on Anakin's face. Leia runs back to help Yoda, but it's too late. Vader has tricked him and killed the old Jedi. Then it's Leia's turn to fight her father. Instead of Luke, as we see in The Empire Strikes Back, Vader tries to convince Leia to join him. Join me, and we shall rule the galaxy together. Leia, my child, if only you could understand the power of the dark side of the Force. In that moment, a slash of her lightsaber, as well as a blast from Han Solo, who's come back to Dagobah, are able to take Vader down. And this is his redemption, instead of in Return of the Jedi. Leia removes his helmet as she gazes into her father's eyes. He says, I have a daughter. Yoda informs her, with his dying breath, that she is the one who brought balance to the Force. But the war was still going on, and they still had a battle to finish. But they're not alone. Luke's Force spirit is with them. It's such a crazy alternate version. Honestly, I believe a What If series would do really well on Disney+. And I suppose my question to you guys, the big question of the day, what kind of what if scenarios would you want to see in the Star Wars galaxy? What if Obi-Wan turned to the dark side? What if Maul was a Jedi? What if the rebels lost the Battle of Endor and the Empire won? There's lots of questions. In this case, I obviously prefer the original trilogy of events, but the Infinities comics do give us a pretty satisfying answer of what would have happened had Luke died on Hoth and had Princess Leia been the hero of the story. What is your what if scenario? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, my dear friends, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, check out our Patreon page linked down below, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.